In today's world, are we privileged? The answer to this question truly depends on yourself watching this video and your perspective on this question. It also depends on your upbringing, what you've been taught, the information that you've taken in. It also depends on your current circumstances or circumstances before. And lastly, your reality. The purpose of this video, my answer or my perspective to this question is yes, we are privileged. This is coming from just looking at the time that we're in. We live in the best time in human history. In health, technology, access to information and opportunities. This is the best time to have all these opportunities and advances. If we look back throughout history, there has been slavery, wars, conquering, a lot of messed up things that come throughout history. Not to say there isn't a lot of messed up things going on in today's time. There is, but in terms of scale and impact, we can't compete. This is by far a better time to live in. And I think in terms of this, why I truly believe that in today's society, or today's time, there's never been so many opportunities to change your life or someone else's life. But it truly depends on you. As growing up and seeing privilege and understanding privilege, I think my perspective had changed on things. In terms of privilege, or the definition of privilege is defined by the special right, advantage, opportunity available to a particular group or person. And I think when people hear privilege, it often has a negative connotation. In terms of today's society or throughout history, we do get into conversations where certain people have privileges and we argue, for example, race, gender and all these things. And even throughout history, there has been privileges that have been abused, used to control, dominate and exploit others. This is things that have currently happened and things that have been happening throughout history. But it's like that quote that you see in superhero films or Marvel, like, with great power comes with great responsibility. And I don't think privilege itself is the problem. I think it's the misuse of privilege itself. Reflecting on my own life, and I do advise, in terms of one thing that I reflect is look at what you had as a child, or look at the mindset that you had as a child and try to unwire why you thought that way. And try to unwire certain environments or kind of relive certain environments. Because with myself, when I started looking back in terms of my past or looking at things that went on when I was a teenager or was a child, it started making me answer questions that are very hard and difficult. But I think it's a part of yourself that is growth. And with myself, I would say to myself, or when I was younger, I would say I wasn't privileged. But today, I would say for myself, I am incredibly privileged. And I say this because with understanding privilege now to myself, I do believe that I didn't use my privilege or use it to its full potential. And with this, it made me question or maybe look deeper on what privilege is or where privilege comes from. In my opinion, the privilege that I gained came from the hard work, the sacrifice, and the things that my parents did. My parents worked incredibly hard to maintain the lifestyle that we're living in the UK, to maintain electricity bills and all these things, and to maintain a life for myself in being in the UK compared to Africa. And with that came with a lot of privileges: education, people, environment, opportunities. And with myself, I didn't understand that. And with my parents, a lot of parents, where they come from a place that they have sacrificed so much to give you a privilege that they never had. And they put incredible expectations to yourself to do something meaningful with it. Like, for example, be a doctor, a lawyer, and all these things. And for myself, I've never been a doctor type, a lawyer type, maybe a lawyer in a different life. But in terms of myself, I didn't use the potential and the opportunities that I was privileged to have. I didn't understand it. I always thought for myself, I think with privilege, you get wrapped up in believing that if someone's more privileged than yourself, then you can't do it, or it's just going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult. However, you have to understand the privilege that you already have that put you in this position. I think with myself, like when I was younger, I would say that I didn't, or for many of us, that we don't focus on what we have, we focus on what we don't have. And we compare ourselves or compare privileges. So you have a certain privilege, but this person might have a better privilege, and you automatically get into your head like, this is gonna be difficult, I don't want to do this, or if I don't succeed, it's due to this person having more privileges. However, it kind of affects your goals, your confidence, and your direction in life, because you automatically put yourself down to not think that you can do it. And with myself, there's only myself to blame. I wasn't losing or not achieving goals because I lacked privilege. I did have privilege, but I didn't understand the privilege that I have. I was more focused on someone's advantages instead of using my own advantages. A lot of us have a lot of privileges and advantages that we have, but we want more, or in a sense, we compare other people's privileges. But with your privilege, someone else can maintain or use that privilege that you have and push it to the moon, take it somewhere incredible. But you limited your privilege and believe that your privilege can only take you so far, and that's it. And I think that's where you gotta start rewiring your brain or understanding the privilege. You gotta be grateful for the things that you currently have, and the things that make you you. That privilege that you have right now is what makes you you. However, you need to take it to the moon and take it to the full potential. The sky is the limit, as I believe. And I think with myself thinking about this, I think privilege at the end, I believe, comes from sacrifice. And I think the one thing that we need to stop doing is stop disrespecting sacrifice and not showing gratitude and wasting time comparing with others, because that privilege that you have came from somewhere, came from a lot of blood, sweat and tears from your parents, or a lot of things that a lot of people do to try to maintain the privilege that you have, or maintain the life, or maintain the opportunities or the constant opportunities that they try to give to yourself. I think the truth with this conversation in terms of privilege, a lot of people don't realize that there is someone in a different world, not in a different world, sorry, in a different country, different place, circumstance, or anything like that, that would fight tooth and nail for your privilege and the things that you have. And you might not think it's much, and you may have very little, but at the end of the day, I think privilege is quite relative. What feels small to you could mean everything to someone else. At the end of the day, we all come from some sort of privilege. And in terms of privilege, I think, as I said, in terms of definition, I think it's just advantage. A lot of us have a better advantage in terms of education, intelligence, talent, physical ability, creativity, and discipline. There's a range I could go on more. However, a lot of people understand the privileges that they have and use it to conquer the world and to combat other privileges. And they understand that that privilege that they have, or that advantage that they can have, they can milk the most out of it to compete with other privileges. And many people may have better privileges or may have better advantages, but get beat with a person that, in terms of if you were to speak about which advantage or privilege that they want, they would want the one that is regarded as better. But the person that gets the most out of their privilege or advantage is able to conquer the world. Just being privileged doesn't mean you're going to conquer the world or you're going to do great things. Understanding the privilege or the things that come with your privilege and the advantages and getting the most out of it can take you a long way. And I think a lot of people don't understand that a lot of your privileges that you have, they would swap in a heartbeat, and they would change or wish that they had your privilege or the advantages that you have. And in terms of privilege itself, people can say beauty isn't a privilege or advantage. And a lot of people would, if you were to ask them, you could swap your beauty for this, they would take it in a heartbeat. But we don't really understand that. We take it for granted in a sense. But I think instead of using our advantages or using privilege, we complain. Instead of being grateful, we compare. Instead of building, we focus on what other people were given rather than the things that we have. I think at the end of the day, some people are born ahead of the starting line. But what truly matters is whether you run or stand still. And let's get to my favorite bit, or favorite section. my favorite section where we talk about anime. This is where a lot of people click off the video. This is where people are most engaged. I'm not too sure. If you do enjoy this section, please let me know down in the comments. And if you do have any recommendations, please let me know down in the comments. I am open to getting to watch or read new anime. But the first anime that I'll get into is Black Clover. I think Black Clover matches what I'm trying to depict in this video. In Black Clover, privilege, or what privilege is, magic. Magic is privilege. In Black Clover, your birth or your family determines your power. And many nobles who are blessed with far superior magic are born ahead of the starting line, and the commoners are expected to stay behind and don't really have great significance in terms of their society. But that's where we have the main character, Asta. Asta has nothing. He's a commoner, no magic, no lineage, no excuses. And then you have another character, which is Yuna. Yuna is blessed, glazed by the gods. The character that is blessed, he has the privilege of being given so much magical powers. And what's interesting, or what is perfect in terms of the story, is even though he's blessed and has far greater privilege in terms of magic compared to Asta, he determines that Asta is his greatest rival. And these two grew up in an orphanage, both in the sense that brothers. They see each other as rivals for their ambition to be the Wizard King. And he acknowledges him because he understands what this person or what Asta is truly capable of. Even though he is blessed by magic, he understands the only person that can compete with him is Asta. And I think Asta is very good, and in terms of what understanding privilege is. Asta, in a sense, gets blessed with anti-magic. And with that anti-magic, it's unique to him. A lot of people that do have magic can't use anti-magic because it's anti-magic. And this is what I mean. With Asta, he's able to take this unique thing, which is his privilege, and he's able to change the world, fight, be a significant threat to many people. Because what his advantage is anti-magic, and that's his privilege. And a lot of people can't compete with him because a lot of people have different advantages, which is magic. And Yuno understands this and understands that his brother, or in a sense, brotherhood, Asta is the only person that is capable of being the Wizard King, because he's seen the hard work and seen everything that he's done, and he's seen everything that the hard work he's put into it. I think with watching Black Clover, it's made me realize that many people in the Black Clover world are blessed with magic and privileges. However, they may stay arrogant, lazy, and just rely on their birthright and the magic that they currently have. They don't have any effort to want more in the world. But in Black Clover's message, or what the overall message for me is, that even with privilege is nothing. Privilege is nothing if you don't work, if you don't put the effort in. Effort, in a sense, can surpass birth or certain privileges. And I feel like it's more in the sense that with privilege, if you're able to use it to its fullest potential, you can compete with anyone with any privilege or any advantage, because you are able to get the most out of your privilege, your advantage. And a lot of people don't recognize that. And the second anime that I'd like to get into is My Hero. My Hero is just finished, so I do advise you check it out. But with My Hero, quirks are the inherited privilege. Some people are born with powerful quirks, some are born with average, some are born with nothing. With our main character, Deku, he has nothing. However, he idolized the GOAT, which is All Might, an individual that is strong, powerful, and everything that he desires to be. And in a sense, you see a character that is given the ultimate quirk. However, he has to work hard for it. With a character like Deku, you get to see a person that appreciates everything, or appreciates what he's given, and wants to take it to heights that I've never seen before. And with a lot of us, we get a lot of privileges that we don't really understand and don't understand how important and how powerful they are, and we take them for granted. But a character like Deku makes you understand that you gotta be grateful and show gratitude. And even the certain privilege or the privilege that you may get, you shouldn't treat it as entitlement. It's your responsibility what you do with your privilege and your advantage and how far you can take it. And with Deku, you see a character that even when you say he's been given one for all, it's what he worked hard. It's a character that worked hard to, one, get the body to be able to get one for all. And it's a character that is, one, learning a power that he doesn't understand. And with the quirks or the privilege that he had to work hard to get the best out of that quirk. He, one, broke his fingers, couldn't know how to use it. He went through a lot of pain through that privilege or the advantages that he had. But once it finally clicked, or once it started clicking, he became a formidable force. He was a person that was dedicated to his mission, his goals, and things that he set out once he achieved or what his goals were when he was a child. At the end of the day, the privileges that you get, it's an advantage. What you do with it is up to yourself. You should not treat your or feel like your privilege is an entitlement. It's what you do with it. It's more that privilege doesn't make you significant in life or make you important. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with the privilege that you have and what you get out of your privilege. The last anime that I'd like to get into is Blue Lock. It's a short one, but with Blue Lock, in terms of privilege, it's understanding talent. And this one resonated with me more because I didn't realize how talented or the talent that I have and the privilege of having that set of talent and seeing a lot of people get, I'll say, well, in terms of myself, I'll say I was maybe a little bit more talented. However, some people may work hard to push their talent to exceed myself. And with myself, with watching Blue Lock, it made me realize that at the end of the day, what the talent that you have is nothing. A lot of people are gifted in life. A lot of people are talented and have the privilege of having a talent, but what you get out of that talent is what truly matters. Talent alone can't take you all the way to be successful or be great. A person that relies on their talents, on their past, and believes that their privilege will take them all the way will fall behind. Because a lot of people that are hungry in this world and understand how to use their advantage or privilege better than yourself will eat you alive. Because they've sharpened their skills. They've turned their advantage and privilege to something that is far more formidable than your privilege. Even though your advantage or privilege on paper might be the best, some people have turned their privilege or talent or advantage into something that is just too formidable and honestly just takes over no matter where they go. They've harnessed their skills. They've turned their skills or talent into something very formidable. And with what I say Blue Lock teaches that privilege alone doesn't matter if you're not willing to do or push your limits. Privilege is, in a sense, a lot of us have privileges. A lot of privileges in certain things. But if you don't get the most out of it, what's the point? You just wasted your privilege. Someone that acknowledges your privilege and sees your advantage, and if they were given that, they would do the most out of it, and you do nothing. That really hurts. Especially with people that see that you do have a talent that or advantage or privilege that can truly change the world or change people's lives, and you're doing nothing with it. It's just pointless. It is honestly pointless. You're doing nothing. Some people can get away with using privilege to a certain extent, but due to them not harnessing or understanding their privilege or using it to its full potential, they don't go nowhere and they stay still, and they get beat with other people that have harnessed their privilege, their advantage to something formidable. At the end of the day, what I feel about privilege, I don't feel you should be guilty or feel guilty about your privilege. I think it's about awareness. I don't think, like ourselves, you didn't choose to be here. You didn't choose your starting position, but you choose what you do with it. And I feel like a lot of us waste the privilege or things that we've been given, or things that a lot of our parents and people have sacrificed to put you in a privileged situation. We start comparing with other different privileges. I think privileges or advantages, I would say, are unique to yourself. They are set out for yourself. You didn't choose to have that certain privilege. However, it was destined or put to yourself. What are you going to do with it? And at the end of the day, just start comparing with other people and different privileges. It is what it is. Get the most of your privilege, your advantage, and do what you want to do. Change the world.